This fucking show.
Oh, how I love her.
You have no idea what dread is. Ladies and gentlemen, um, what a way to enter the start this fucking episode. I'm your host, Ronan Unchained, and welcome to Bottles and Bricks, a Last of Us podcast. And I'm joined by my fellow hermano, my fellow Last of Us fan, Sam. Sam, how you doing?
Sup, Shimmer?
We just got through episode 6, and we are now doing spoilers. So this is it. You want to avoid spoilers? Go check out Sam's not spoiler review and his channel that we did. And you can get all the stuff how we felt initially after the episode, but now I get to let it all out. He gets to let it all out, and then we get to theorize of where they could be going and what they've given us and switched thus far. So Jackson,
Yes, sir.
um, Maria,
Yes, sir.
Shimmer, um, what else? Tommy, and
Dude.
Tommy's now gonna be a dad.
Right. That. So wait, was Tommy always a dad? Is that
No,
new? Okay.
no, that was
Okay.
new. I mean, I could imagine that him and Maria were getting it on, but never did they hint at of fatherhood as of yet.
Right.
And if they did, it must have been as subtle as you can get, because I mean, Sam, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start crying. You go first. So how did you feel about this episode?
No, this was phenomenal, man. This had everything.
Yeah,
This had everything in the sense that they started messing with me to re-show Henry, having to kill Sam and him dealing them seeing that, us feeling it all over again, to them leaving, to Ellie eventually kind of talking to Joel subtly throughout the trip, starting to break down certain walls, open line of communication, saying that she really thought that she could possibly save Henry, which broke my heart. And Joel kind of trying to reconcile with her that there's still an area of hope, we can still maybe make it, and then them running into the couple. And that was interesting because we didn't know who this couple was. I knew that the actor was a really big actor. Come to find out, it's just some old couple that was letting them know, like, yeah, you don't want to cross over this river because you're gonna die. And from there, of course, they have really good witty banter. I mean, the thing about this in this episode, the highlight of this episode is, I mean, definitely relationships. It's not
oh
so
yeah,
much just Ellie and Joel's relationship, because oh my god, they are playing it perfectly.
yeah,
But I know you're going to talk about, brother to brother, Tommy and Joel.
oh yeah.
The relationship that Tommy has with Marlene, or not Marlene, Maria, like the conversation Maria has with Ellie. Um, and I mean, again, like, these are some really important lines of dialogue, but their character progression, because there's seeds of doubt that are being thrown everywhere, you know, and
Yes,
also seeds of hope. Like, when Joel was kind of seeing everybody before he kind of had his panic attack, he was kind of like in his head, like, man, maybe it'd be nice for us to stay here, But then he was like, oh, we got to keep to the mission. I can't do this on my own. I need to get my brother out. I need to be able to get her where she needs to go. And just the anxiety hit him all at once. And kind of like even Ellie conversating with Joe, like, in the midst of their anger, like, do you care about me? Like, I love the dialogue in this. It's so rich and so important. And that one tear, daggone, that one tear, Bella, it's like, look, you, I can't do this on, like, this. I think that's the one time, like, she legit was crying. Because I mean, even the last episode, we didn't
she's
see her
shocked.
cry. Right.
Yeah,
Like, we didn't see her cry. Like, we saw her so vulnerable here, because I think she said it to him. She was like, I can't survive this without you. Literally. But yeah, dude, I think it made me. I said it to you. I'm re-falling in love with Joel and Ellie, and the story all over again.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. And any show or movie that can do something like that,
Bravo.
because I didn't think they could do it like this. I still don't. I still don't understand what I'm watching right now. But
It's yeah, and we hear people saying, like Neil saying, like, this is the best video game adaptation, or you're doing the characters right. And I can only hope, I can only be hopeful, and I can only see other fellow, Last of Us fans, YouTubers hope, because it's a big. This is, we're not trying to make it like cultists and whatnot, but like we genuinely care about that game and those characters. So it's a big, not even a hostile way. It's just like, please don't fuck it up.
right,
And to be honest, it's kind of hard to fuck it up. Like you generally have to go about your way to ruin it and damage the gem that is that game. And um even us, like we kind of knew where it was going, but we didn't know at all how we were gonna get there. And that's also what's cool about this stuff. It's not so much the destination, it's the journey. And the
right.
fact that I can't tell how the journey's gonna go,
Not at
when are
all.
we gonna stop on the highway, what's someone gonna say. And even though I get giddy because I see something from the game, or reference or something honoring it, I still don't know the foreshadow it is involved with, or the deeper meaning it has, or if it's just a wink, a subtle
Right,
wink
right.
that only hardcore fans will know. So the fact that, like, and now we're finally in spoilers, because I almost left it up in the non-spoiler. Joel is finally, like, not only saying finally, because I love what Troy does, but in this version, Joel can let it out. Can let it out. He could say what we're all saying. He
Right.
can say that I don't, and he doesn't really say it, but I wanted him to say it. Be like, I can't go through this again. I
Yeah.
lost one child. I refuse to lose another child. And kind of way of like him being a thing, like my kid brother's growing up. He's gonna be his own man now. And you said about him seeing hope, and I could tell he also sees hope, but he's seeing, am I too far gone for this?
Yeah.
Do I deserve this generosity? Do I deserve this environment? Is my soul too damned to do anything?
Yeah.
And my answer is no. As effed up as you've been, you get her to Salt Lake City. You see this through, you can be redeemed, and that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to ruin it for everybody else. Um, and yeah, and just I mean, even him talking about his past work and what it foreshadows for what is what we know about. And even again, they said they wrote stuff for the game that they had to cut out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Maria and Ellie's talk was part of that, because in the game she says, Maria told me about Sarah. And and, and it's similar in a different Maria no, I'm gonna say it's more different Maria in the show than in the game,
Yeah.
but there's genuine love for Tommy.
Yeah.
The way
Absolutely.
Maria
You can
looks
feel it.
at
You can
Joel.
feel it.
Yeah, all the way, and that's palpable, and that's a parallel from both the game and the show. And I love that look Bella had when she said it was Joel's daughter, and she instantly recognized. So that's why
Yeah.
he keeps this, and that's why he's that way to me. It's not just because he's a dick. It's just that, like, he's got a big scar around him, and I just can't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. I mean, I love this scene. This scene right here. And I think it was so hard of a scene, because when I watched the trailer, I was like, oh snap, Joe's getting bucked. But when you get the real context of his conversation with Tommy first, him
Yeah,
breaking down to Tommy, then him getting the understanding that Ellie heard what he said, and he's trying to figure out, how do I keep her safe? How do I convince her to stay away? Like, it's just so much going on with this. But what the trailers didn't show you is Bella's side of the performance. Because
yes.
she, oh my gosh. You brought it up in the non-spoiler review. You can go and go into it now.
Okay. Yeah. So for those who play the game and who may not know the story about the ranch scene, when Ellie finally tells Joel, like, everyone I've cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So originally, when they shot that, it took them a while. Something was off with that scene, and it wasn't. I don't think it was the performances per se or the dialogue. It's just a vibe or an element they wanted, an X factor.
Yeah.
And they kept going it over and over and over and over, and they took a break. And then right when they came back, they played it again, and Ashley Johnson, the great Ashley Johnson, threw the shove. That wasn't scripted. That was improv. That was, as Troy says, that was jazz. That was magic. And I highly recommend folks, if you play the game or you have if you play the game from you haven't played in a while, go watch Grounded, the making of the Last of Us video game. It is an incredible documentary, and they go into that. And you see Bella take this thing that was improvised and honor Ashley what she did in her performance, and the fact that Bella is not even more, not just sad, but she's just annoyed. They'd be like, I've been caring for you this whole time. I poke fun of you, but I'm a kid. That's who I am. Deal with it. But I give a damn about you. Like, why don't you give a damn about me? Why? What's this all about? And she almost wants him to say it. Like I can't do this again. And brings up Sarah. And I was when so we heard her dialogue of everyone I care for has either died or left me. And he says, you have no idea what loss. So we saw that in the first footage they ever teased with that big HBO promotion.
You have no idea what loss is.
They did the bar scene. What?
Right.
But the context and the performance was what I was waiting for. Like, how are they gonna handle that scene? Because that's one of the best scenes in the game.
Right.
And you see Joel, first time, I think, without even a gun, being more menaceful than ever to Ellie. Be like, don't you dare try to, heal my wound. That's no one's concern. Like, don't. And because he doesn't say you're treading on thin ice. He says just don't. And it's a turning point. This one that it could either destroy the relationship or it could harden it even more now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing because the hard part about that is he's doing three different things. He's acting the role, he's paying homage to Joel, and he's showing his pain, his anger, and his sincerity all at the same time. Because that's the thing that comes across with this. And that's the thing that hurts so bad in the last lines that he said, you're not my daughter,
I'm not your dad.
And I'm not your dad. And Bella's just Ellie is crushed. But
you
Bella,
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, when I start losing, that's one of the things we worried about. We said this before we even started the show. Months ago. Are they gonna feel like these characters? Are we gonna get ourselves lost in them? And dare I say they're doing it, man. Down to, after they kind of come back from that. And we see her kind of thinking that Joel's gonna say goodbye. Of course, it's Tommy. She just walks out, they go to the stables. Joel's over there, and
waiting.
She was just like, "Oh, is this you saying goodbye to me?" And he was like, "No, I was trying to steal some horses." And he was like, "You had to steal the horse?" He's like, "Well, I guess I've been here for like 30-some minutes." You sure you like? He's like, "Just throw the bag and let's go." I was like, "That is perfect."
Yeah,
perfect, because that's such a dad and a daughter thing. Like it's that unspoken word. Like, look, you piss me off, but let's go because I love you. You know what I mean? Like, ultimately, that's what this is all about. Is I love you. And it was even more interesting to see. I think one thing I didn't take into account until now is Gabriel's performance, because while he's sharing with his brother his walk into hope, so to speak, through this whole situation, he also sees parts of his brother he hadn't seen in a long time. He's seeing his brother actually being vulnerable. He's seeing his brother actually choosing to care again. And that probably means a lot to him. Like, I think, honestly, if Joe had asked again, he may have just went with them. You know what I mean? It's very fast because he was already willing to take her anyway.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been an interesting little twist and change it up. But Anyway, they go and proceed to have their little moment back and forth. He teaches her how to shoot. Their
Yeah.
dialogue is just so fluid and natural. Like, I'm just like, I'm falling in love with these characters. And then, of course, we get to a certain location.
University of
And
Eastern Colorado. Go Bighorns. Oh,
and they know that's where the Fireflies are, but they've already gone. They know where they need to go to Salt Lake City. And of course, they see like some raiders, and Joel kind of gets ambushed. He breaks the dude's neck. He looks down. He sees half of a bat sticking in him, literally.
yeah.
And, Ellie is kind of looking at him like, oh my God. And she gets him on the horse. She shoots back. They get for a ways, but then eventually he passes out, and she is terrified. She's terrified not just because of her own safety. She's terrified that something happened to him. Like before, it was kind of like it kind of came across of self-preservation. Like, I need you to survive because I need to be able to live. But no, like she doesn't want anything to happen to him.
Yeah.
And that's what her last tear was about. Like, she's like, I cannot lose anybody again. I can't do it.
It's
So
flipped. The whole time Joel is going through the process of like letting go or staying together, and now she's going through the process like I have to stay together at all costs because much like Sarah, she lost. Damn it, I won't say it. She's also had her fair loss.
yeah,
Dude, they're okay. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't played either the first game or part 2. Okay, I have to bring it up. Okay, because it's like
the location where they went,
everything, dude.
yeah.
Last chance.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Jackson.
real brief, and we'll put our hands up once we're done
Yeah.
with this, so you know.
They're teasing part 2 already. They're teasing his hobby as a wood guy, Shimmer. I would not be surprised if somehow that girl that was looking at Ellie the whole time is
I promise
fucking
you.
Dina.
I promise you that's Dina. They even sat together at the movie. And the funny thing was, even though Ellie kept on looking at Tommy, she also was looking back at the girl. And the girl didn't say anything to her. But I was like, it's too on the nose. Even down to like the kids throwing snow at each other and Ellie's just kind of looking. I was like, yeah, this is y'all's future home.
Yeah.
Even Tommy said, he's like, you both are welcome here. And I'm like,
And there comes, so that's the thing okay, I'll tell you this because I never told you this. Leading up to this, I had seen set photos or set videos. People lived over there, so I saw Tommy and leading Joel and Ellie through the place, and I'm like, that's Jackson. That's part 2. What the fuck is this doing here in season 1? What does this mean? And so I was like, are they actually combining this, or was that just a fake out from HBO? Are they just messing with me? So they're combining, they're not getting rid of, but they're turning that one encounter Tommy in the game and meshing it up to Jackson. So it's not gonna say less of a riddle, if you will, but like it's all concise and they kept saying iteration. So they're putting in, this is where you meet them, and this is where they might go in the future with the show. So I was just shocked that they were already teasing stuff for part 2,
right?
And the fact that it felt natural. It felt that like I'm like, this is a version I can get behind with it. And
Yeah.
I praised Gabriel Luna in the non-spoiler review, and I will do it again. Him being his own man, and him. He apologizes to Joel, but I do think, and I've said stuff like that I mean it. It's just like I'm like at times I'm like I need to do my own thing. It's not that I don't love you. It's just that it's time for me to grow up, and the fact that like the past memories I have with you weren't so great, so I needed my space. And Joel's desperation to get back to something that he can, because he lost Tess.
Right.
He needs someone else who could also keep him in check or something like that. And the fact that those just convos, it all, even that last convo in the shop, it also teased the opening of part 2, which is the confession,
right. Exactly,
of what actually goes down in Salt Lake City, which I was just like, that is so effing cool.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. And yes, well done, Gabriel Luna. Um, I was literally, I was like, that's Maria. That's got to be Maria. There's no. I saw the wedding ring. I saw everything, and then I saw when he said would speak with family, and then just cut to Gabriel. I'm like, that's Maria. I'm like, she's she, and the fact that we get some backstory to Maria that we never really got in the game,
Right.
you know. And that's I mean that's cool. Like it's stuff that I've been saying about like just give me a graphic novel, just give me. I don't care. Give me a story about Maria. I don't care. Whatever. She's fascinating, and I love Maria in the games. And just seeing that house, and again, I want to say this: we're seeing this early. There's still stuff that they're tweaking and they're fixing around. A nitpick, or not maybe not a nitpick, just an observation. There's lines that were added that didn't involve Bella or Pedro moving their mouths. It's just stuff added ADR.
Yep.
If HBO, I don't know how this is gonna work, but if I can somehow spiritually tell HBO, I'd be like, you don't need that extra dialogue. I can tell Ellie thinks this is the dead river without her saying it, just looking at it. It's amazing what a look can say without speaking, and the fact that I could tell what was happening and how she says, "Okay, we should be good now." Yeah, I hope maybe they could cut that off. No offense to the actors who did that ADR work, but it's just sometimes what I appreciate the game of subtlety. Throw that in with the show because I get where everything's going without having to say extra stuff.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna transmodify to actually have the actors doing it. It's just kind of like a placeholder. Some
Yeah.
stuff on ADR is definitely gonna be probably dropped, and some stuff is gonna be kept. It's kind of like what they've been doing throughout the whole.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to Rutina Wesley. If you've seen True Blood, she played the role of I think Tina and Tara, and then also she was in Queen Sugar. And she's doing a phenomenal job in this. And I mean, Maria's gonna be around for a while, so we're just not the last we've seen of her. And I'm curious to see what they do moving forward.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially with the kid, like she's pregnant, so I really don't know. And
now
if
I'm worried for
they're
Tommy more than ever.
right, well, that's the thing. If they're already leaving breadcrumbs already for the second game, it's probably not the only breadcrumbs that they're gonna leave.
No.
So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm excited. The show is just masterclass, dude. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Unbelievably, dude. It's just like, and this is another instance where I'm like, I can't effing wait to see people who don't know the game and they see that last scene, and I just want to see people flip the f out and be like, "Is that it? You telling me? Are you messing with me?" I can't, and also even see what other fellow fans think of like how that plays out. And
but yeah, dude, this show, it just don't miss. It's ridiculous to me that it don't ever miss.
If at any time we have to take a break from watching consistent episodes, it's not because of bad things. It's because we're emotionally drained and we can't take it. We have to, both of us have to go to work the next mornings, and we don't want to go, into work crying and being all down on energy, and they'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, the last of us. I'm like, oh god, and just it's look at him. Like if who knows if they ever will get this, but if Craig, if Neil, if Pedro, if Bella, if Gabriel, if you're watching this, you're doing something right. And this is the fourth, fifth, third time you made me cry for something I already know might happen. That takes, I don't know what, that takes some X Factor stuff to do that. So thank you. That's all I can say. I'm like, I don't know how else to express myself. If the reactions doesn't do it for you, I don't know what else.
Yeah, and this is coming from a person that used to do reactions a long time ago. I've had some emotional reactions in a long a long time ago with only one game, and that was the second one, and that destroyed me. And this, it's just like every single episode, like I find myself either crying or just feeling good. This episode is as rough as some of the conversations were. It made me feel good. Like it made me feel good to cry, because I think the big part of it is Joel is letting stuff out. We talked about it this whole entire time. He's been compressing all of his grief. He hasn't even let himself grieve over Tess. You know, like he's just been moving, and it's kind of like anybody that has a sibling. You know, you can tell your sibling anything and everything. You let your guard down with your sibling. They see the worst of you and the best of you. And it was like in that moment, he kind of let it all out. And Tom, this is the crazier thing. Like Tom was like, "Tell me everything," because it started with him saying she's immune. You know,
and him being shook. Like, all right, you told me this much, let it out.
Yeah. But anywho, before everyone starts crying again.
Yeah, folks, thank you so much for checking out Bottles and Bricks Last of Us podcast, and even more so, thank you so much, Sam, for joining me. Where can people find you?
Oh yeah, man. Go to the description bar below. You can check me out at my Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, SuperSCL0320. But you can find me definitely on TeamJVS, where we do everything. So yeah.
Yeah. All I'll say is adios.